All right. So Johnny normally does this introduction here. So welcome to this is Developer Diaries number 45. And today we are we're gonna look at a new feature built into the edit grid that allows you to upload an Excel file, and the results of that Excel file will show immediately within your edit grid. And then at that point, it's up to you. The user can change things or, whatever they need to do, and then, press a save button, and then you would save those results to the back end. So let me first open up App Builder, and we'll kind of look at what we have um, going here already. So I've got this application called DD45. Let me just go into it, and you'll see we just have this is an edit grid here. I've got a save button. Actually, it'd probably be easier if I just ran the application, right? Okay, so here's our edit grid. If I make changes, like I'll put an X here and tab off, now I get this save button. One thing I should point out is this new feature, it's only available if one, it's an edit grid, and two, you're using local data. And since you're using local data, you cannot have paging. Okay, so those are the three caveats. Edit grid, local data, no paging. So as of right now, I press save and, it saves the backend. But what I'm going to do is put an upload button. We're going to attach that upload feature into this edit grid. So let's go into App Builder. I'm going to go into the grid itself, and I will click the product list. And the new feature is going to be available here on the left-hand side, but it's not showing right now. And I wanted to point this out. I need to go into portal administration, and I will go into settings, and I'm just going to search here for beta. And I want to enable the beta features because this is technically a beta feature right now. So save. I'll close this. I'll go back into App Builder, and I'm just gonna reload the application, and that should be available to me now. So let me go back into my grid. Okay, there we go. So import. So let me click this, and there's not much to it here. We're just seeing a list of all of our columns on our grid, and I have two import types: a CSV or an Excel file. Well, I have an Excel file, so I'm going to click that. And then after clicking that, you see we get a bunch of different options here. So what do all these mean? Clear grid before import. So that means, let's just pretend here I've got 5 rows in here. If I click that, once I enable this, I click import and it imports the data from the spreadsheet. It's going to wipe all this data out first. Okay. So clear the grid, then, add my results. So notice when I uncheck this, I'm going to uncheck my clear grid before import. That other option beneath it goes away because should we track the removed rows on clear? So I told you, yes, I want to clear the grid before the import. And do you want us to track those? So what does that mean, track removed rows? That means when I call my backend program, do I want to be able to pull the information to know what rows were cleared slash deleted slash removed? Okay. And in this case, I'm going to leave it checked because what we're going to demonstrate is, I'm going to have these first 5 records, 5 records. I'm going to click my import. I don't know, maybe it adds 10 records. Well, if I'm going to sync the database up to be correct, I'm going to need to delete these records and then add the records that were added via the Excel upload. So yes, I want you to track those removed rows for me. Okay. Does your Excel file have a header row? Yes, and let's just take a look at mine. Let's see here. I assume you cannot see this, right? Am I going to need to reshare my screen? Let me just open this. Let me reshare my screen here. So give me a second. Should have had that ready. Okay, I'm going to reshare here. And I need this as well. Okay. This is my Excel file. So I do have a header row, product, description, type, class. So notice, this Excel file that I have matches, our application, right? Okay. So I mean that makes sense. But you'll see how we map it. Okay. So notice I have, A, B, C, D, I have A through G columns. Okay. So let's go back to App Builder. And so I'm going to click yes, it does have a header row. And these are just, various options, number of header rows. I only have one. Maximum rows, the name of the sheet, the first sheet. I only have one sheet, so I don't need to specify that. What do I want the button to say? By default, it's going to be import. Maybe I'll have, I'll change it to import products. But now I need to do this step. I need to select my file. So I'm going to click this, and I'm going to click that product list.excel file. So notice what it did here at the bottom. It brought in the results from my Excel table, or Excel file, I should say. Now I need to map every column here that I want to pre-populate, once I upload it. So if I click here, notice it's pulling the description or the column heading from the Excel table and then the, column A, B, C. So I'm just going to map these. So product is product, description is description. Okay. Okay.
Sorry, I didn't say it. In import example, did you select the Excel sheet? How did that bottom part came?
Yeah, except yeah. So are you not seeing this, or does it not show?
No, it does.
Okay, let me redo this. Sorry, one last time. I'm just going to share my whole screen here. Let's see. That should definitely solve this. Okay.
And real quick, Sean, I'm just jumping in. There's a question. Is it mapping by column number or column header? It's just going to be by the column. It just will show you the header if you have a header line. But Excel, it's just going to be A, B, C. So if he didn't have a header of product, it would just be A, B, C, D, E.
Yeah. So looking at my Excel file, you'll see it's product description. That's what we're seeing there, and then A, B, C. So we're putting out both pieces of information. Your column heading is product. That's column A. So when I click import, yes, all I did was select my product list. And then it brought the results in and then I mapped it. Okay, so I'm going to save this. And now I'm going to rerun my application. And we should see a button there now. We should see that import product. So good. So let's just test it out. Import products. I'm going to select that same Excel file. And as you can see, it added all those rows. So when I click save now, I am calling, let's just take a look. I'm going to go into my application. Let's just see what I'm doing when I click that save button. I'm calling an RPG program called DD_45. Okay. So first, let me call it. So I'm going to press save. And it told me removed 5, added 12. Okay. Because remember, I had 5 records initially. I clicked the import button. On the import, I said I want to clear out the rows and I want you to track that for me. And then it added all the new rows. So it looks like it added, so I have 12 in my Excel file. So let's take a look at the backend code and just see what that does. Okay. So nothing out of the ordinary here. This is the same, EXNAB BTN based program. Here's my process. In my process, I just have a save procedure. So let's just look through this. Um, okay, I have a structure based off that file. I'm just checking that that widget um, has a name. Okay, so I'm doing my set widget because I want to work against the product list. I guess I called it product list on the in the app builder in the app. First thing I'm doing is I'm removing records. So this G remove count is automatically set for me because, I want it to track the rows. I wanted it to track the remove rows. No different than if I went here and just did remove. Okay. That G remove count would be set to 1 now. Okay. So for each removed row, I'm getting the product number and I'm just, doing a delete from the table. Now, do I have any added rows, or any changed rows? So then I'm just looping through. And if the row was added, I'm pulling all the properties. If the row was added, I'm inserting it, else changed, I'm doing an update. And now I'm just setting a little message. If the remove count, if we had something, I'm, telling you the number removed, telling you the number added, and telling you the number changed. Always setting my response, a success, true or false. I guess I have an app variable named load products that must be linked to the refresh property against it. I'm telling it to reload the list, and then I'm setting that little info, that little snack bar to pop up to tell us how many rows were added, changed, or deleted. And that is it. Any questions? Anything in the chat, Johnny?
Nope, just that one question from earlier.
Okay.
Oh, we have one. What is the row count?
Sorry, it's just easier to talk. I think it was row added.
Yeah, on the back end, I assume you're talking?
Yeah, yeah, right there, row
Yeah,
added.
yeah. Okay, yeah. So I don't know if we've ever so there, in just as we have, G added count and G selection char, row added is a special procedure available to tell you if the row was added or not, or was the row changed. And these are only relevant for local data edit grids. So as I'm looping through all of the rows, I'm passing the, first index and saying, was it added? If it was, inserting it. Else, was it changed? Change it. Else we're doing nothing. Nothing changed to get it. It wasn't added, wasn't changed. But row added, row changed are available against local data edit grids. And that's just built into the, EXNAB button copy source. Any other questions?
Another question.
All right. All right. Well, thanks everybody. Quick one, short but sweet.
All right.
All right.
All right.
Everybody
Thanks,
have a
everybody.
Hey, thank you.
Thank you.